Teenage pregnancy, its effect on educational development of students and out-of-school youth in Maramag, Bukidnon.
Over the past few decades, teenage pregnancy has become a public concern which has generated a great deal of attention in the social and economic consequences of teenage pregnancy. Teenage pregnancy has led a consensus opinion among policymakers and public that teenage pregnancy and childbearing is a significant social problem. It has been linked to an array of other social issues, such as welfare dependency, child health and well-being, out-of-wedlock births, fatherhood responsibility, child abuse and neglect, school dropout, and workforce development. According to USBIF 2005, today's teenagers have become more sexually active and promiscuous compared to their age mates of some 30 or 40, 50 years ago in the Nigerian situation. He also asserted that the gradual departures from the traditions, customs, and religious doctrine of the different ethnic groups on the premise of civilization have been largely responsible for this. Community and families must work hand in hand to shield their teenagers against this phenomena. Increases in both health and social problems are products of uncontrollable multiple sex partners among teenagers. Mainly because the youth cannot control their emotional feelings, they rush into untimely sex in the belief that the act will be undetected. This study is aimed to look into the effects of teenage pregnancy to the educational development of students and out-of-school youth in Maramag, Bukidnon. Particularly, it aims to answer the following problems. Number 1. What is the demographic profile in terms of age when pregnant, educational attainment status, type of school attended, and economic background of the respondents. Number 2 is, what are the causes of teenage pregnancy among the students and out-of-school youth in Maramag, Bukidnon? Number 3, is there significant difference on the educational development of teenage pregnancy when grouped according to age, educational attainment, status, type of school attended, and economic background of the respondents? The study will be conducted to find out the extent of how extreme is the effect of the major causes of teenage pregnancy to the educational development of students and out-of-school youth in Maramag, Bukidnon. The result of this study is beneficial to the students, out-of-school youth, to the parents, teachers, to the community, school administrators, researchers, and other interested individuals because this can serve as empirical data where suggestions of minimizing teenage pregnancy in the community can be taken. This study will also benefit students who is still at the school because it will give them information about the cause and possible effects of teenage pregnancy to their studies once they get pregnant. In one way or in another, this paper will guide them to focus first their attention to their studies rather than giving priority to their romantic affairs with boyfriends or girlfriends.
Scope and delimitation. The study is delimited to the students who have been pregnant at their teens, 12 to 19 years old, and living in Maramag, Bukidnon. The subjects was drawn to the students who have been pregnant and or have been a student on their teenager days and living in Maramag, Bukidnon. The study focused on the extent of major causes of teenage pregnancy, which a family, peers, community, and church involvement with the education development of the student and out-of-school youth in Maramag, Bukidnon. The perception of teenager to the effect of major causes of teenage pregnancy were limited to educational development only. This was the independent variables of the study. The dependent variables of the respondents indicates the effect of educational development among the students in the school and out of school. These are teenagers who have been pregnant pursued their studies in spite of hassle of having in the school having a child to rear. There are also teenagers who got pregnant, tried to go to school, and earned a vocational plus degree, while the others did not. There are also teenagers, especially out of school youth, who have never had the chance to go to school after pregnancy. Related literature and studies. In the Philippines, the NSO 2013 data shown that 13 to 14% of all registered marriages are among teenagers below 20 years old, while the data from the National Youth Commission show that the rate of teen pregnancy is among the highest in the Asian region and the only country where the rate is increasing. The global issue of teen pregnancy is the reason why annual celebration of World Population Day, July 11, led by UNFPA, focus on addressing teen pregnancy. Benjamin De Leon, president of the Forum for Family Planning and Development in the Philippines, an NGO working adolescent health issues, expressed alarm that almost 10% of all Filipino women aged 15 to 19 have already given birth. This is a reality that we must address, he said. There is an agency for all sectors to work together and help address adolescent reproductive health issues and teen pregnancy because of the health and economic implementation to the country, he said. A high rate of teen pregnancy also means a high risk for maternal deaths among young girls. Methodology. This chapter presents the research design, research local, the respondent, sampling procedure, data gathering tools, the scoring procedure, and the treatment data in the foregoing study. Research design. Basically, this study employed descriptive quantitative research design. Certain questions were designed to draw out the responses of specific information regarding the future plans of respondents despite the condition that they are in.
The respondents of this study were selected teenage students and out-of-school youth who got pregnant from the year 2009 to 2013 in Maramag, Bukidnon. They were chosen to provide vital information about the effects of teenage pregnancy to their educational development. These respondents were selected to generate information of the effects of teenage pregnancy and to the family, community, peers, and the church denomination where they are affiliated. The respondents of this study are those whose ages range from 12 to 19 years old who got pregnant while still in school. Data about the respondents can be obtained from the health centers, hospital, inquiries from friends and neighbors, co-teachers, and Municipal Social Welfare Development or MSWD office. The local government has programs for the moral and economic development of the youth but still lacks implementation, thus creating problems among teenagers.
Sampling procedure. The method that was used in choosing the respondent was purposive sampling, picking all the cases that meet the criteria. The researcher will choose purposive sampling considering that the population of respondents is small and there are lots of consider on securing the respondents' participation. Furthermore, the victims might be ashamed to disclose their experience. Some don't want to refresh their sad past chapter of their lives. Others have transferred other place and there are still others that were not be reached for comments. The research instrument. The researcher employed a self-made questionnaire to gather data of the present study. Part 1 is the demographic profile of the respondents. This was included their name, age, when age when pregnant, name of school attended, educational attainment, and the economic background of the respondents. The second part of the questionnaire deals with the cause of teenage pregnancy. Part 3 includes questions of educational development after pregnancy, and Part 4 is the question of the future plans of the respondent. Data gathering procedure. The researcher sought permission from the health centers in Maramag, Bukidnon to be given pertinent data of teenage pregnancy cases for year 2009 to 2013. Further, the Office of the Municipal Social Welfare Development (MSWD) was requested to give information regarding cases of teenage pregnancy in the municipality. Inquiries from barangay officials, friends, co-learners, neighbors, and relatives will also be considered in the possible search for respondent. Research local. This study was being conducted at Maramag, Bukidnon. This municipality was purposefully chosen because of its accessibility to researchers in gathering data, for the reason that this municipality is developing and the researcher is concerned of the teenagers who get pregnant in the locality and are often the topics of the bystanders and acquaintances of the respondent who are affected with the sudden twist of their life situation.